Shalom. Let's start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashua, Kakadash, double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone. Salutations to the Philet, just pushing this truth across four corners of the earth, all faith, truth, and sincerity. This I'm on about back again, that's sitting. Just want to go into there's an article I ran to called The Politico about Trump being mad because his allies didn't want to back him with the Iran situation or war, whatever. But read this article. It said, never heard him so angry. Trump is fears that global allies aren't pitching in Iran. President Donald Trump on Tuesday fumed at longtime American allies. He says aren't doing enough to help the U.S. and Israel in their war against Iran, now arguing that their assistance was never needed after spending days publicly requesting their help. Because of the fact that we have had such military success, we no longer need or desire the NATO countries' assistance. We never did, he wrote on Truth Social. Likewise, Japan, Australia, or South Korea, in fact, speaking as President of the United States of America, by far the most powerful country anywhere in the world, we do not need the help of anyone. So Trump, mad, because U.S. allies like, man, we don't want to get involved with that, man. We told you, like, this is legal. Don't do this. It's just like, for example, the movie Friday, right? Debo tell the Smokey, hey, man, come on, man, come rob Stanley house. And Smoke was like, I ain't finna get involved with this shit, man. This is an example. Like, that's how the allies is with Trump. Trump, trying to be like Debo, trying to like force you to come, come do this crime with me, come on, back me, come on, help me, man, come with me. And the allies like, nah, we're not finna do it, And like I say, America, Trump, them imposters over there in Atlanta, Israel, those Amalekites, Khazarians, they're not the real chosen people of the Lord. The real chosen people of the Lord is the so-called Negro, Latino natives, which are the Israelites. But Trump trying to be like a bully, man. Like Debo, starting shit. It's just like a bully, right? They want to start shit, with you. Throw the rock, you hide a hand type thing situation, and act like they ain't do nothing. They start somewhere. They act like they want to act like they ain't do nothing. They wasn't in the wrong. Like, you started it. What you thought that Iran was gonna retaliate or thought they were just gonna back down? They said hell no. Yeah, U.S. and Israel, they jumping us, so we got to fight back. They shot missiles back, hit embassies and so forth. And now they're closing the Strait of Hormuz, the waterway. I think it's the second largest waterway for the oil to come through. For oil to come through the waterway, and stuff like But I don't get into that and read the next part of the article about that. But yeah, man. And like I said, Trump, man, because allies won't back him. But America's top allies have largely resisted the president's calls to take on an active role in the Middle East war, which the U.S. and Israel launched it in February, arguing Iran presented an imminent threat. In recent days, Trump has reported as global allies and some geopolitical foes, including China, for help securing the Strait of Hormuz. The waterway is key for trade, and disruptions to the international energy market have sent oil prices spiking. International leaders largely rebuffed those calls from the president. We did not start this. We did not start this war. German Defense Minister Boris, if I'm saying this right, excuse me. If I'm saying this wrong, excuse me. If I'm not saying this right, Boris Pistorius said Monday Trump's push for European assistance was tantamount to blackmail Luxembourg's deputy prime minister Xavier Bettel, said reporters. French President Emmanuel Macron panned the strikes on Iran as illegal just days after the conflict began. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer has said the UK would not be drawn into a wider war in the region. So hey man, I'm saying the German defense minister, the Luxembourg, the deputy prime minister, the French president, and the British prime minister said, look here, man, we're not finna get involved. We don't want to get involved with that shit. We told you, nah, hey, don't do this. But Trump and, Benjamin, Satan, Satan, whatever you want to call him. They said, fuck that, we're going to shoot him. We're going to shoot him, let's do it. And goddamn, you want goddamn your allies back you. Something they told you, hey, they told you don't do this. You did it anyway. And you mad Trump man because your allies won't back you. And trying to open the Strait of Hormuz. And you got prices of oil going up because your actions is why this is happening. In the meantime, some domestic Trump allies worry that securing the Strait of Hormuz and jump-starting the global oil trade could require sending American troops into Iran. The president, who has long sworn doubt and the value of NATO and misuse about pulling the U.S. out of the alliance, on Sunday cautioned that NATO allies face a very bad future if they refrain from aiding U.S. efforts to reopen the waterway, but their resistance did not come as a shock, he wrote on social media platform Tuesday. So let me see. Where's the okay, well, y'all, I'm gonna get the rest of this. It says Senator Lindsey Graham, a key proponent of the operations in Iran and a close allies of the president, said he spoke to the president over the phone on Tuesday. Graham wrote on X Tuesday that he never heard him so angry in my life. I share that anger given what's at stake, he said. The arrogance of our allies to suggest that Iran with a nuclear weapon is a little concern, and that military action to stop the Ayatollah from acquiring a nuclear bomb is our problem, not theirs, is beyond offense. So, American allies like, man. But, World War III, it's going to fully happen. We're in the beginning of it, but it's going to fully fledge into a full World War III. Well, hey, these countries are going to get involved, like China, Russia, and so forth. They're going to get pulled in, into it, and, it's going to happen, But right now, that's right, the allies like, look, man, we don't want to get involved with this, We told you don't do this, you know what I'm saying? And you get mad because you the one started this shit, But, so I'm going to get the scripture on this. This is Revelation 17:16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. So some of those, some of those 10 horns I read, was in that article with the prime minister, the president, and the deputy prime minister and so forth, of allies of America. And I read, but let's see who all the 10 horns are that's allies to America, right? So I'm gonna go to so let's say the 10 horns represent the common market of Europe, of the European Economic Community, the EEC, established in 1958. Today, The EEC is known as the EU, the European Union. Belgium, Denmark, France, Italy, Luxembourg. Now I read about France president, Luxembourg prime minister deputy, right? The Netherlands, Greece, Spain, England, and West Germany. So those are the 10 allies. I just read in Revelation about the 10 horns. Those are the 10 horns. Let's talk about Revelation. We'll go back in Revelation 17:16. So the 10 horns. These which side upon the beast these shall hate the whore. So these allies in America, the allies in America, like, look here, man. They looking at America and Trump, looking at Trump with a side eye, like, fuck, you know what I'm saying, like, talking all that shit, man. Hey, they looking at you with like I say, a hatred right now, cause you want to start this shit, and got us in this shit right now, and you mad, Trump, man, cause you mad because we want to back you. Because of what you had started, and then it's gonna come to where those allies, it's gonna turn on America, Babylon Great, and eventually, like I say, those thermal missiles, gonna be turned to America, with China, Russia, and North Korea shooting missiles, upon America, Babylon Great. With, like I say, American allies turning on America as well. Those missiles flying towards America as well. It's going to be burnt up, and that's going to be the second death by way of the thermonuclear missiles. But everything is under the Lord Yahweh time and will, he's going to make that happen to where, those missiles be shot, on his timing. It's not going to be because of China, president, Russia, and so forth, the allies. It's going to be of the Lord Yahweh time and will when those missiles begin to be shot. Because scripture talk about, the angel, the four angels holding back the winds. Angel holding back the winds. Matter of fact, let me get it. Let's see. My bad. Wrong. It's Revelation 7:1. And after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, or on any tree. So like I say, I just want to bring that out because it's the Lord Yahweh Shai. He got the 4 angels. They holding it back. The nuclear missile being shot because if it was up to China, North Korea, and so Russia, they would have been shot missiles over here, right? The missiles would have been shot, but it's not up their will time. It's the Lord Yahweh Shai's will. And they've been so-called UFO science, so-called UFOs, which are the chariots, sightings, and of countries want they want to shoot missiles, but the UFOs will stop it from shooting. That's how hey, it's not of them. It's not gonna be of them because of the missiles be shot towards America by Babylon Great. It's gonna be the Lord Yahweh Shai's will and timing. When those they get the green light by Lord Yahweh Shai, they let it loose, let them fly. Launch those missiles towards America, Babylon the Great. But I just want to bring that out. But yeah, once those thermonuclear missiles begin to be shot towards America, Babylon the Great, it's gonna burn up everything here. America allies, the missiles gonna be shot towards here, and it's gonna be of the Lord Yahweh Shai his will and timing, those missiles begin to be shot, towards America, Babylon the Great. Not because, the Allies, they're gonna hate they hating America now, but they're gonna hate them more. But it's not because of them, their will. Like I say, it's not gonna be because of Russia, China, North Korea will, and the Rocket Man, what's his name? North Korea leader, Jim Jong Un, if I'm saying it right. But it's not because of him, anyone else is gonna be loyal to Shah. His will and timing, he's gonna get that green light for those missiles to be shot towards America, Babylon the Great. So with that, I didn't want to make it too long. So again, like, our praise and glory to Yahweh. I hope this was edifying. So again, like, our praise and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahshua, by Hashem Kakadash, to the apostle elders, to the sister brothers, to the few Aqua sisters that do listen, keep the faith in Yahshua, keep fighting with that, say shalom.